Members, good afternoon. This is the scheduled start time, 2:30, and we also have a quorum. I call to order the meeting of the House Committee. Before we go to the agenda proper, I would like to remind members that this meeting will continue to be conducted wholly remotely. Members, as you participate in the meeting, you must keep the video on and show your faces. If any members wish to speak, please use the raise hand feature of Zoom to so indicate. And when your speaking time limit is about to be up, then the timer will be shown on the screen. And when your time is up, then a beeping alert will be sounded to remind members, and I will then ask the member to stop speaking. Now we go to the agenda proper. Item 1 on the agenda, confirmation of minutes of meeting. Minutes of the 6th meeting held on the 18th of March 2022. The minutes have been forwarded to members before the meeting. So far, no members have made any comments or suggested amendments to the minutes. And today, I don't see any other members raising any points. So can I invite members to confirm the minutes, please? Okay, minutes confirmed. Item 2 on the agenda, matters rising. Report by the chairman on her meeting with the chief secretary for administration. Some members suggested inviting the chief executive or the chief secretary for administration to attend a council meeting or house committee meeting, so they could respond to questions on the government's anti-epidemic strategy. In response to this suggestion, the chief executive attended the chief executive's question and answer session this Wednesday on that is the 23rd of March. Item 3 on the agenda, business arising from previous council meetings. Before I go to item 3 on the agenda, if I may ask members to note that when I ask members to indicate whether you wish to set up a bills committee or subcommittee on bills or subsidiary legislation, please indicate using the raise hand feature of Zoom if you want to set up or join a committee. Please do not cancel the raise hand icon, because the staff need to count the number of members who wish to join a committee. And after the relevant bill or subsidiary legislation has been dealt with, I will ask the staff members to cancel all the raise hand icons. A, Legal Service Division report on bill referred to the House Committee in accordance with Rule 54(4). Temporary protection measures for business tenants COVID-19 pandemic bill. I'll invite the legal advisor to take us through the bill briefly. And if members wish to form a bills committee on the bill, please use the raise hand feature of Zoom to so indicate. Now I'll first hand over to the legal advisor. Thank you, Madam Chair. The report is in paper number LS 17/2022. The bill seeks to give effect to the proposal announced in the 2022-23 budget speech for temporary protection measures for business tenants, and also related measures required for the implementation of these protection measures. There are primarily 2 points. One is about a moratorium on pursuing rent or recovering rent in arrears for a period of 3 months for tenancy between the after the 1st of January 2022, and also moratorium on lenders' rights to take security enforcement actions against landlords. If there's violation of these 2 items, then is a criminal offense with a fine. The administration briefed the panel on commerce in industry on the 7th of March on this proposed legislation. While the panel supported in principle the legislative proposal, various concerns were expressed by members. The legal service division is scrutinizing the legal drafting aspects of the bill. In view of the concerns of members of the panel, members may consider forming a bills committee to study the bill in detail. Thank you. I see many members have raised their hands. Mr. Kwok Wai Keung, Ms. Doreen Kong, Mr. Lai Tong Kwok, and other members. So the Secretary will issue notices to members and invite you to join the Bills Committee. Now, if the staff have jotted down all the names, please then cancel the raise hand feature. B, the Legal Service Division report on subsidiary legislation gazetted on the 18th of March 2022. Legal advisor, please take us through the items briefly. Thank you. Our report is in paper number LS 18/2022. The report covers 3 items of subsidiary legislation to waive government fees and charges. The first one is LN 28 to amend the dangerous goods control regulation so that between the 31st of March to the 30th of September 2022, certain fees and charges will be waived. Now, this is in relation to the amended dangerous goods general amendment regulation 2021, so that the waiver could be extended. The LN 28 will come into operation on the 31st of March this year, and we have not identified any legal and drafting issues. So for LN 28 members, do you wish to form a subcommittee? For members who wish to do so, please use the raise hand feature of Zoom to so indicate. No, for now. Legal advisor, please continue. The 2 other items are LN 29 and LN 30. This is to give effect to a proposal in the 2022-23 budget, so that for the period from the 1st of April to the 30th of this November, there will be reduction in sewage charges for freshwater supply for non-domestic premises, and also reduction in charges for freshwater supplied. The 2 LNs will come to operation on the 1st of April 2022. Members, do you wish to form a subcommittee on LN 29 and LN 30? If so, please use the raise hand feature of Zoom to indicate. If I may remind members that for these 3 items of subsidiary legislation, the deadline for making amendments is the council meeting of the 6th of April. So again, members, if you wish to move amendments to the 3 items of subsidiary legislation, the deadline is the council meeting of the 6th of April. Item 4 on the agenda, further business for the council meeting of the 30th of March 2022, that's next Wednesday. Government bill, first reading and second reading debate to be adjourned. Arbitration and legal practitioners legislation, outcome related fee structures for arbitration amendment bill 2022. The House Committee will consider this bill at its meeting on the 8th of April. Members, please note that in accordance with the directions given by the President previously, for the council meeting on the 30th of March, it will only deal with items with legislative effect. So apart from this bill receiving first and second reading, the council meeting, we will also deal with a proposed resolution moved by the Secretary for Transport and Housing. At the House Committee meeting on the 18th of March, members have agreed that there is no need to form a subcommittee on that resolution. Item 5. Business for the council meeting of the 6th of April 2022. Government bill second reading debate to resume, consideration by committee of the whole council in the 3rd reading. Revenue tax concessions bill 2022. I would like members to note that it depending on the development of the epidemic, for the council meeting of the 6th of April, on that day, apart from dealing with items of legislative effect, we will resume the arrangement for 6 oral questions, 16 written questions, as well as 1 item one item without legislative effect. Now, as there is a need to vote on certain items, the Secretariat plans to conduct a rehearsal on the remote voting, electronic voting system remotely on the 4th of April at 1:30 p.m. So please try to attend the rehearsal. As for questions, as for members who've been allotted question slots at the council meeting of the 16th of March, the reference list has been forwarded to members on the 2nd of March. So for the council meeting on the 6th of April, that's originally a motion to be moved by Mr. Tan Ka Pil on a poverty alleviation policy. So this note that. Item 6, report of bills committees and subcommittees. Report of the subcommittee on subsidiary legislation relating to the prevention and control of disease. I'll invite Dr. Priscilla Leung, chairman of the report subcommittee, to give a verbal report. Thank you. Madam Chair, the subcommittee has held 4 meetings with the administration and completed the scrutiny of 6 items of subsidiary legislation relating to the prevention and control of disease. The Prevention and Control of Disease Vaccine Pass Regulation grants exemption to persons who receive essential government service, such as applying for Hong Kong identity card, driving license, and so on, and persons who have lawful authority or reasonable excuse. Some members expressed reservation over such exemption. They were of the view that exemption should be granted only to persons who hold a medical exemption certificate. The administration will review the relevant enforcement guidelines and narrow the scope of exemption. For the unvaccinated who have recovered from COVID-19, they may only be vaccinated after a period specified by the administration upon recovery. Members asked the administration to explain how these persons could enter premises covered by the vaccine pass while they wait to be vaccinated. Members also asked the administration to explain why the regulation requires visitors to premises to provide an address, and if the collection of personal particulars, including address, is required of passengers on public transport in future, how the requirement could be effectively enforced. The administration advised that recovered patients could produce the relevant recovery or infection proof or medical exemption certificate issued by a medical practitioner to the venue manager for entry to premises covered by the vaccine pass. On the requirement for customers to provide an address, the administration explained that the provision does not mandate the venue manager to collect every item of personal particulars. When drafting the provision, address is included as one of the items to cater for various possible scenarios. Under the vaccine pass direction currently in force, there is no requirement to collect and keep the address of customers. Members urged the administration to make full use of the emergency exemption from statutory requirements COVID-19 regulation. For medicines for the treatment of COVID-19 already approved by the National Medical Products Administration, the subcommittee suggested the administration to waive the registration requirement of these medicines in Hong Kong. The subcommittee also requested the administration to review if the restrictions on mainland medical workers coming to Hong Kong have truly been relaxed. Members asked the administration to submit progress report on exemptions granted under the regulation with details on the exemptions and when public announcements were made. The administration indicated that as at the 17th of this month, exemptions were granted in relation to works projects of the hospital in Lok Ma Chau and other community isolation and treatment facilities. extension of licenses of residential care homes for the elderly to other suitable places, the segregation and care for infected and non-infected elderly residents, and from registration for mainland medical workers coming to Hong Kong. After granting these exemptions, the administration has used various channels to publish the information, including press release, press conferences on anti-epidemic strategy, public speech, and blog of the Chief Secretary for Administration, and so on. And also members asked about indemnity to reference groups and volunteers involved in the delivery and distribution of anti-epidemic supplies. The administration noted members' concerns and would consider them. Some members have also asked for clarification on the scope of indemnity under the statute law as to whether it covers legal liabilities arising from statutes outside of Hong Kong laws. The subcommittee is also discussed with the administration various issues such as the compulsory universal testing scheme, vaccination for the elderly, the supply and distribution of anti-epidemic medication and supplies, treatment and support for the infected persons, as well as the handling of bodies of those who passed away of the COVID-19. Members have asked that due respect be given to the deceased and to speed up the issuance of death certificate and handling of bodies. Members also stressed that as the administration plans various anti-epidemic tasks, there has to be a timetable, a roadmap, and also must be based on precise statistics and data. The subcommittee supports the 6 items of subsidiary legislation and will not propose any amendment. A written report will be submitted in due course. Thank you, Dr. Priscilla Leung. B, report of the subcommittee to study emergency date of election 6 terms, chief executive regulation and related issues. I'll invite the chairman of the subcommittee, Mr. Tommy Cheung, to speak and to present the report. Mr. Cheung, please. Madam Chair, the subcommittee has completed the examination of the emergency date of election 6th term chief executive regulation and related matters. The regulation seeks to postpone the polling day of the 6th term chief executive election CEE, originally scheduled for the 27th of March 2022 to the 8th of May 2022, and to make provisions for relevant matters. The report of the subcommittee has been forwarded to members. Members are invited to note the report. The subcommittee held 2 meetings with the administration. Members expressed concerns on various matters, including a fallback plan for the CEE, how the administration could ensure the smooth conduct of the CEE, the requirements on candidates' election expenses and unused election donation, and the effect of gazette notices concerning the valid registration of official members of the election committee. The subcommittee supports the regulation. The subcommittee and the administration will not be moving any amendments to the regulation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tommy Cheung. For the 7 pieces of subsidiary legislation, the amendment deadline is the 6th of June. If members 6th of April, if members would like to move amendment, the deadline to do so is the 29th of March, a Tuesday. Item number 7, position of bills committees and subcommittees. As of 24th of March, Thursday, there are 2 bills committee that are in action, and also 2 subcommittees under the House Committee that are currently in action. Item number 8, any other business. We don't have any AOB items. Meeting is now adjourned. Thank you all very much.